Hello, dear students. Today, our topic of discussion is radiation pollution. The radiation pollution, what is exactly radiation pollution? Uh, there are some substances on our earth, in our surrounding, and also there are some rays that are entering into the earth from the outer space. So they are emitting some kind of poisonous rays which are harmful to our health. So that is called radiation pollution or radioactive pollution. Certain substances like radium, uranium, thorium, etc., have the property of giving out radiations in the form of some rays called alpha, beta, and gamma rays. These rays have small wavelengths and high frequencies and are highly energetic. They pose threat to the human and animal health. So the pollution caused by such radiation emitted substances is called radiation pollution. Radiation pollution is different from other kinds of pollution in the respect that not only it critically affects the individual, but it also brings about physiological changes in the next generation. There are some sources of radiation pollution. There are two kinds of basic sources. One is natural source and another is man-made source. The natural sources are less harmful because these are naturally available, and the radiation contents of these substances are not too harmful for the human health. So let us see the natural sources. Natural sources of radiation pollution are radioactive elements in the Earth's crust. The unstable elements in which neutron and proton ratio does not lie in the stability zone continuously emit alpha, beta, and gamma rays. And these elements exist in the Earth's crust. Some of such radioactive elements are radium. Radium also, not all kind of radium. Radium 224. Then uranium 238. Thorium 232. Potassium 40 and carbon 14. Then from space also radiations may be possible. Radiation from substances in the lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere are another cause of radiation pollution. Additionally, we receive cosmic rays from the sun and beyond. These cosmic rays are continuously entering into the earth from other part of the universe. So second source is man-made, which is much more dangerous. So among the man-made sources, nuclear weapons are the greatest threat. Nuclear tests are conducted by advanced nations to develop nuclear weapons to be used in warfare. During this test, huge quantities of nuclear substances that we mentioned, the naturally available uranium, plutonium, etc., are used for fission. Fission is a process of combustion, and you can get more explanation in a dictionary. And also in nuclear weapons, heavy hydrogen is used, where the atomic weight of hydrogen is more than the normal hydrogen, because the nucleus of that hydrogen is heavier. For fusion are used. Heavy hydrogen is used for fusion, and These uranium and plutonium are used for fission. So nuclear explosions produce huge radiations. The situation is deadly when such weapons are actually used in a war. The first atomic bomb that we know was exploded on Nagasaki, and second was in Hiroshima in Japan in 1945 during World War II. Japan has not recovered fully from that trauma till today. Big powers like are engaged in developing more powerful weapons even till now. And it is believed that the nuclear weapons that possessed by different countries, developed nations, even developing nations, may be enough to destroy the entire world. There are some effects of nuclear pollution. There are two basic effects: non-ionizing radiation and ionizing radiation. Non-ionizing radiation is less effective, whereas ionizing radiation is more effective. Non-ionizing radiation is generally such solar radiations where ultraviolet rays are available. They affect the cells and molecules which absorb them. Ultraviolet radiations from the sun damage the eyes and cells of skin and blood capillaries, producing blisters and reddening called sunburns. So sunburn is very common phenomenon that we see. Also, these non-ionizing radiations of ultraviolet ray also inactivate DNA and RNA molecules and increase chances of cancer and mutations. So these are, of course, these effects are treatable. But the second one is ionizing radiation. These radiations include alpha, beta, gamma rays, and also alpha rays and cosmic rays from the sun. They possess great energies and have the potential to break the macromolecules by ionization, thus damaging the cell. Exposure to such radiation for a shorter duration could cause burns, impaired metabolism, and killing the organism. Long-term exposure to the radiations cause incidence of tumors, cancers, and mutations, putting life to risk. A newborn baby or maybe a fetus in the womb may be killed by radiations. Now let us see how to curb or control such kind of pollution. So, but one thing is that nuclear pollution is so dangerous because to control fully or to curb 100% of such kind of pollution is not at all possible. But we can definitely adopt some measures to minimize such kind of man-made nuclear pollutions. As there is no cure to undo the nuclear damage, but we can take some preventive measures. So some kind of suggestions are, or preventive measures are, while designing nuclear reactors, adequate safety measures should be provided to prevent the leakage of radiations. Secondly, persons working in such establishment should be provided safety kits to cover them fully so that they are not affected by the radiations, if any, coming out from nuclear fuels or waste. Number 3 is nuclear waste and coolants. which are used in the reactors should be dumped in deep pits and covered adequately so that the radiations do not escape into the atmosphere. Number 4 is safety measures should be in place in case of an accident take place. So safety measures must be there available in 24 hours. And number 5 is there should be a complete universal ban on the testing and development nuclear weapons for warfare. So today we have discussed about different sources of radiation pollution, and different sources of radiation pollution and their effects on human and animal and flora and fauna or ecosystem. And lastly, we discussed about various measures to control such kind of pollution. So today, this is enough for today, and I hope that you will go through the contents in your textbook thoroughly, and in our next class we will talk about noise pollution, which is the last content in the lesson chapter number 7. Thank you for listening.